Hello, friends. I just wanted to share a couple tips with you guys on the importance of chronic disease prevention. I think it's such an important topic because we live in such a toxic world where there's just so many toxins in all of our food that we eat today, being sprayed all over. The farming industry, the air we breathe, it's just in everything. We just really can't get away from it. On top of that, I think the sad American diet is just, so high in sugar and processed foods and in, a lot of animal protein that is not organic. And just a lot of us are not following a pure, wholesome diet, and that leads to chronic disease. So, some of the things that we can do for disease prevention is just to be really mindful of the foods that you're eating and, just sticking to food in its most natural form as possible. Eating lots of fruits and veggies. Not if you're going to eat animal products, just make sure they're 100% organic, grass fed. I myself don't personally eat a lot of animal products because I feel that the body was not necessarily created to eat a lot of animal product. So a lot of time when you're eating a diet high in animal protein, meat, it actually just sits in the gut and it putrefies. So the digestive system has a hard time actually breaking down meat products. So I eat very little meat, if any at all. So it's just best to kind of stick to just, a lot of fresh foods, wholesome foods. Try to cut out gluten if you can, just because a little nasty toxin called glyphosate is in most of products that have gluten in it. Actually, it's in most all of the products, which is really sad to say, but sticking to just or eliminating a lot of those gluten products will not only help your gut to stay healthy and nourished, but it will keep that little nasty toxin out of your body as much as possible too. It is in a lot of processed foods, and glyphosate is actually in over 75% of the food that we eat today. And I would even say that it's probably even more than that anymore because it is so high in a lot of our foods because, again, it's the main ingredient in Roundup, and sadly it's being sprayed all over the food industry. And so super important to really look for non-GMO labels, although sometimes even then you're not 100% clear from having glyphosates in those foods. So again, just following a clean, wholesome diet will kind of help cut out those chances of intaking a lot of those really poisonous, toxic chemicals that do disrupt the gut microbiome, and it destroys the gut. Your gut and your brain are directly connected, so if your gut is unhealthy and compromised, so will your brain. And some of those symptoms that you will notice will be brain fog and chronic migraines, headaches, dizziness, vertigo, chronic fatigue, depression, anxiety. A lot of those symptoms come from a compromised gut. So that's the other thing I was going to tell you too for disease prevention, is to really be paying attention every day to how you're nourishing your gut, because it's so vitally important that your gut is being nourished on a daily basis. If you're cutting out those foods that irritate the gut to begin with, that's going to really help your gut to stay more nourished as well. But then adding some really good some other good foods that help support the gut. Start adding in a good probiotic, naturally probiotic rich foods. Fermented foods have a lot of good friendly bacteria already inside of them. So adding that a little bit into your diet daily too is very beneficial for good gut health. So another big factor in chronic disease today is that we are very nutritionally deficient. A lot of our foods, like I mentioned, because of the way they are being grown today in the soil, it's so depleted of all those natural occurring minerals and nutrients. And so when we eat those foods, it's actually not as rich in nutrients like it used to be because of all the things that are happening to our food industry. So I'm a big advocate for adding in really good nutritional support daily, whether you want to, you know, add in a good green drink, some good superfoods. Just there's a lot of good stuff out there. So just that's what I add into my diet daily. It's just really good high potency superfoods, just for that good nutritional support to prevent nutritional deficiencies. So very, very important, because one of the number one things for chronic disease is nutritional deficiencies. So I feel like I said that word 100 times, but that is one of the biggest factors for chronic disease to get inside of you, is lacking those vital nutrients and having a compromised gut. So really being aware of those things, paying attention to the food that you're eating, paying attention to your gut health, and making sure your body is getting everything it needs on a daily basis is super vital, and will really cut down your chances of having chronic disease creep into your body. So important. Those foods all create an alkaline environment in your body. All the foods like sugar, processed foods, all those things will cause an acidic environment in your body, and disease such as cancer thrives on an acidic environment. So it's so important to make an alkaline environment inside your body. So just want to leave you guys with some of those tips on how to prevent disease. Be your own advocate for your health. We have to. No one else is going to do it for us. We really need to pay attention and be aware to what's going on in the food industry, the medical industry, the drug industry, because so much of it's corrupt today, and it's so important just to take our health into our own hands, be our own healers for yourself and your family. Talk soon, guys.